Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think that we are witnessing a war in the West between some forces who want to stop the garbage in Ukraine and some forces that really want to continue what they started. And these forces are outside of our naked eye. We have to dress our eye. So from time to time, they give us certain kind of, the media in the West, give us a certain kind of information, and you can take it either way. One is to scare us, the other one is to tell us, see, we can do it. It's very, you have to catch the dynamic, the pattern, and put it in a context to realize, wait a minute, this article, this piece of news was reported to us because they want to scare the baboons, and by scaring them, you can do whatever you want with the baboons, sending their taxes to wherever you want, or you want to tell the baboons, see, actually, it's useless to do, my friends. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. It's useless. Look at those guys; they're too good. You have to look into the context. So let me show you this little article from Business Insider. It is from today, January 29th, 2024, and these guys are panicking. These guys being the Ukrainians and the Westerners. The guys, not Westerners, because that would be a misrepresentation. Some idiots in West who are actually, I'm not talking about the nations. I'm talking about the guys that they elected. All right, so let's look at this article where we find out that Russia is replacing its destroyed tanks at a rate of 100 a month, UK Intel says. Now, let's say the Russians are not doing that. Why would the US, UK Intel would say that? Because, they always lie. I mean, always. Sometimes they lie. So we don't know if that's a true statement or it's a lie. And if it's a lie, why would they say it? Why would they let us know? One is to scare these baboons here, to say, yes, send more weapons. Yeah, approve those weapons right now, the package to Ukraine. Look at the Russians, Or the other one is, or to tell the baboons, man, we can't do this. I mean, look at those guys. They're replacing their thing, even with everything we send. $200 billion worth of equipment, military equipment, aid, condoms, dildos, all those things. These guys are replenishing and replacing whatever these guys are destroying. So let's call it quit. It's either or. You have to figure out what was the interest. What Business Insider would publish, what the UK would say about this issue, true or not? Because if you look over there in the title, it's no evaluation, is no value given, is no judgment. It's not saying Russia barely is replacing its destroyed tanks. They would tell you, oh, we're doing a good job, they're losing. Or, oh, Russia is replacing its destroyed tanks at a high rate of. Put the high rate in the title, oh, that means useless, my friends. These guys are just too good for us. But it's neutral. The title is neutral. Russia can replace its tanks at almost the rate it's losing them. All right, so already you find out that that's a bad connotation. That means we're winning. They're not able to replace them. Almost. That means we're on the right track. If we just give a little bit more weapons to Ukraine, I'm guaranteeing you the Russians will not be able to even come close to replacing their destroyed tanks. Got that? That's the fucking context. So far. The first right here, the first sentence. Russia can replace its tanks at almost the rate it's losing them. Here, it doesn't say it almost. It says Russia is replacing its destroyed tanks at a rate of 100 a month. It doesn't say almost, it doesn't say more than, but you find out in the context. Russia has lost up to 365 main battle tanks since early October, it added. We don't know. All the information I'm reading from these guys could be a lie. Partly lie or entirely true. We have to figure things out. But we have to deal with this garbage all the time. But it's generating at least 100 tanks a month, largely replacing those losses, the ministry said, largely. Now that's a kind of like, oh, they're almost good. Russia can make 100 tanks a month. Wait. Can make 100 tanks a month, and it says here, barely, at least. So at least is not making. This is a, can make a possibility. Oh, let's see. Let's move on. Don't cling on that one too much. Allowing it to keep its offensive efforts at the same level despite suffering major losses, UK intelligence says. So you already know here that it allows to keep its effort at the same level. Not good because they're not advancing. So if we would just give a little bit more, they tell us over there, see over there? Major losses. That means give them a little bit more and we can overwhelm them. That's the whole point so far for the UK intelligence. That's how I read it. If you read it differently, well, good for you. The UK Defense Ministry said in an intelligence update on Monday that Russia's ground forces had lost up to 365 main battle tanks since early October, meaning a loss of a bit more than 100 tanks a month. Yeah, but you can't use it. You can't use an average. I mean, because the war is not a linear like this. It's always the same. Sometimes you lose more, sometimes you lose less, sometimes you don't lose at all. So you can say, yeah, it is 100 tanks a month, but still, you don't know. What if right now, the next 3 months, the Russians don't lose anything or lose, I don't know, 1,000 tanks? You can't really, unless unless we don't provide any weapons, therefore the Russians will be able to conquer Ukraine and then knock at our door, get our wives and children into slavery, make us work and so on. Oh, wait, they're already doing this? Oh, I didn't get the memo. But it can replace them at a similar rate. So they told you here that they're barely making it. And you think, what do you mean? These guys are not doing anything with their offensive. Russia can probably generate at least 100 MBTs a month and therefore retains the capacity to replace battlefield losses and continue this level. That's the key word. If we add another variable, we increase it, that decrease on the other side. Obvious, right? Of offensive activity for the foreseeable future, the ministry said. We're going to find out if they reach a conclusion, like giving the baboons straight. If we would give more weapons, the Russians would lose. Let's see if they reach a conclusion. They give you like, pick, here it is, like you give a baby. Not us, the women I'm talking. The real women. I mean, only women. It's not really women. The ministry added that Russia, in addition to tanks, had lost up to 700 armored vehicles. Since October, in that time, it has only achieved minor territorial gains. See, they're losing minor and they almost replace it. That means we can step on the acceleration. Come on, American Congress, House of Representatives, give them so we can win this goddamn crime over there. Since it launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, 24, let's be accurate, Russia has lost about 2,600 main battle tanks and 4,900 other armored vehicles, the ministry said. Russia's ability to continue its same level of attack. You see, this is like the fourth time, or this is, I think, the fourth time we say the level, same level. To the baboon gets it, show the banana 4 times. Oh, banana, okay. Comes at a time when the support Ukraine is getting from the West, from which is getting its more modern tanks, models, and much of its weaponry is a doubt. Got it? They're getting closer to telling you straight. So Russia's ability to continue the same level comes at a time when we don't do what is right. When the support Ukraine is getting from the West, from which it's getting its more modern tanks, models, and when much of its weaponry is in doubt. You got it? So the conclusion of the baboon is, send them more, we're gonna win. Ukraine has lost far fewer tanks and vehicles than Russia has in the conflict, according to weapons trackers and experts. I'm an expert. I think I'm an expert. Why not? What makes you an expert? You know stuff, I know stuff too. So let's see who knows more. You see, this is how when you have experts. Oh, you went to school, I went to school too. Okay, how many books you read? Oh, okay, well, let's talk about how much experience you got, talking with whom. Oh, I got experience too, talking with people. What else? Internet, I do have access to what? This much more information maybe that I have. So again, the thing with the experts, like that. But faltering Western support, there you have it. Ha ha! Oh my God, man, I told you, man, it's easy to figure things out. But faltering Western support means, you baboons, that Russia has an advantage. Why don't we send them more? Send them more, please. I will get my kids to work just to send them more. Ukraine needs help to keep its weaponry and tank fleet working. Right there, baboons. In the US, Republicans are blocking, holy fuck, new support for Ukraine. The Pentagon said this means there's no funding even to repair weapons already sent to Ukraine. Meanwhile, a German lawmaker, this is a good guy, said Ukraine was using only a very small number of the advanced Leopard tanks. They're afraid because they get picked and fucked. That Germany gave it because of a lack of spare parts and slow repairs. Yeah, many European countries are still giving support, but the United States is not. Bad boys. Hey, baboons, go. Tell them. But Hungary has blocked a major $52 billion support package because they look for their own interest. Oh, no, because they are with Putin. That's right. Experts also say that Russia has material, industrial, and manpower advantages over Ukraine. No shit. Didn't you know this before the whole garbage started? Oh, the Russians started it? Unprovoked? Oh, my bad. See, that's why I'm not an expert. They are. I don't parrot their narrative. Russia appears to have been able to manufacture enough missiles to replenish its depleted stockpiles after ramping up its production capabilities. I thought these guys have a Italy-level economy. Didn't they say that? Russians are backwards. And somehow they didn't lose economically with all those sanctions. Over the course of the war, videos have emerged of Russia losing many armored vehicles, including footage filmed in the eastern Ukraine town of Avdiivka, which has become one of the world's most intense hotspots. Okay, now they give us that, hey, we're doing the right thing. This is right now they build this. Hey, you see, we're doing the right thing only if they would get more, the Ukrainians. So please vote. That's dumb. Don't you think it's dumb? I mean, look, they're destroying the Russians' tanks and armored vehicles just like this. The Russians are not doing a good job. They almost replenish it, so it makes sense that if we bring a little bit more, fuck them up. Can't make shit up, man. Ukraine also suffered major tanks losses. That means we need to support them. At the start of its counteroffensive efforts in June, but losses seem to have dropped since then because they fight better. One expert, told Business Insider that Ukraine quickly realized it made a tactical mistake and pivoted from it, while Russia continued to make the same mistakes. And so, so this is basically calling the Russians dumbasses and the Ukrainians smartasses. Here it is. One expert told Business Insider that Ukraine quickly realized it had made a tactical mistake and pivoted from it, changed it, while the Russians continued to make the same mistakes and so repeated tank losses as a result. Now, isn't this propaganda? Propaganda is when you push a narrative, lying, ignoring facts. Isn't this propaganda? Remember, the Western media did not condemn the Ukrainian attack on two propagandists, so-called, in Russia. Remember the guy, what's his name? The guy in St. Petersburg in that cafe that was blown up? And Daria Dugina. Remember those guys? The mass media here said, well, two propagandists were blown up, were killed. This is a Business Insider. And if you watch CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, that's propaganda. So if we are to be just, but we're not, because we're good. Who said that? We say that. We identify as good. And we identify them as bad. They cannot identify themselves as good and identify us as bad. No, only we can. Why? Because we said so. I think this article that I read here should, just by reading it and explaining what the hell actually, they have a name? I don't think so. The People as the UK Intelligence plus, let's see if you have a name. This person, yeah, CET Baker. Holy fuck, here you go again. Oh, CET, I know you. You're that fat, kind of colored blonde hair. No, nothing. I'm gonna, let's see where she is. Baby doll. I featured her in another, yeah, there she is. Not blonde, red hair. There she is. This is CET. I know, she is the one. Too obvious, baby doll. I caught you. is a news correspondent based in Business Insider London bureau, writing about Russia's invasion, and she's an expert. I'm going to read you now. Last time I stopped right now. CNET most often covers soldiers' experiences, military strategy. She knows military strategy, man. Oh my God. Battlefield developments and the geopolitical decisions that surround the world. News correspondent. She has interviewed multiple prime ministers. How many did I interview? I tell you, 0. She has access, but she is on the payroll. Has appeared on BBC News. I never appeared on BBC News as far as I know. The Guardian's Politics podcast, and has been cited by congressional hearings. So there you have it, man. And I'm not done. She is a VIP. She knows what she's talking about. CNET has also extensively covered US politics and previously led Insider's breaking news coverage from London. How old is she? 28? CNET previously completed a master's degree. That's it, man. That's the authority. Master degree in investigative journalism at City University of London, and has written for The Guardian, The Observer, the Journal.ie. CNET is the former editor of a multi-award winning The University Times in Dublin. So she's Irish. My friends, these are the people behind our news. Young and on the payroll. Not very knowledgeable, but with degrees. And many recognitions, and pushed forward. Why? Because they vomit the same shit. Literally. As this guy say, literally, the same shit. They have to. That's why. That person, when I see these kind of things, sometimes it just makes you, I'm glad I had the opportunity to read this for you here. You obviously can have whatever assessment of this or opinion on this, whichever you prefer, opinion or assessment. And but this is, now that we can figure it out, imagine this like 30 years ago. 30 years ago, let's say you're about 40 or 50 or 55, and you didn't know, but you know something about the world. When you read an article from somewhere, I don't know, whatever mainstream media outlet, or let's say New York Times or Washington Post or something like that. I don't know if Washington Post was over there, but New York Times. And you would read it, and you read the name of CET Baker, you don't know who she is, and you can't verify who she is. You didn't have internet. How in the fuck you would verify who she is? And you think, who is this person? You couldn't even look at her little face to find out, holy fuck, you don't ooze intelligence like you and I. Anyway, my friends, here is now we have this opportunity, and she was a click away. And you want to find more about her, you go 2 clicks away. Most things are very much at the surface, very much at the surface. It requires little baboon effort to access that information. A little baboon effort. That's it. Like this one. For me, it was and I found out. I knew it because the name, I saw her one time, but I covered her in another article, which, again, she was a expert. Master degree. What do you want? City University, BBC, Papali, Kikiki. Have you been interviewed prime ministers? She's got a business card bigger than you would ever have. Or, anyway, I don't know. I'm just kidding. But I'm pretty sure we will not get to that position. I mean, I don't know if you are at that level or even surpassed her, but you see how important she is? She writes for that, and I promote her by telling you who she actually is. Thank you I know actually is. Part of whatever she actually is. Is anybody, you think so? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.